Back to the action here at the Sacramento Mile. It's been a good battle all night between Harley-Davidson and Kawasaki, and it continues. Now look at 3 wide down the back straightaway. Haven't seen that yet tonight.
Oh, that's nice stuff right here. The fans have got to be loving it. It's sure fun to call these races. I'll tell you what, this is really tight between the 5 right now, Jake Johnson and Jared Mees. There's also a points battle going on in the middle of all this as well. Those 2 lead the points coming in.
Pass for the lead as we go back into 1. Just love this onboard. Yep, speaking of the points, Mees is the points leader coming into the night with 5 on Jake Johnson. And of course, Coolbeth in the mix and Brandon Robinson, all of them in this top group, fighting here for the win tonight, all in the top group, fighting for the championship this year.
Smith remains out front. He's fought his way. I think he's led most of this race, Ralph, and that 42 is, he's got that thing working well tonight.
Do you see any particular rider or any particular bike with an advantage here tonight? It looks like we're going to change the lead once again.
I don't. You know, they're so closely matched between the Harleys and the Cowies right now, and I think it's just who's riding the best at this point tonight on a pretty tricky what looks like a pretty tricky racetrack. The groove's not very wide. You don't see a lot of these guys drifting away from that groove to try to make anything happen. So guy who places himself in the best spot near the end of the race and who's right. Oh, that was big right there from Mees. Great onboard shots right here that we don't get to see enough of.
We could really hear how hard he was working that throttle, and then he just whacked that thing open and off the corner he came.
Love it. Great shots right there. As you see Mees really getting the thing sideways, and Smith riding so well. As you see him right there, he just slips up a little bit high off that slick part of the groove, looking for some of that good dirt back down onto that groove as they drive it off down the back straight.
That's going to be one of the challenges on the last lap. How deep can you go into turn number 3? And maybe that's an advantage for Johnson. He's been working this outside pretty good, Scott, especially down here in 3 and 4, because we've seen if you get just a little bit off of that line and you push up just a hair, that really opens up the bottom. But Johnson seems to be able to get around that outside better than just about anybody.
Yeah, and he's got a good look at Smith and Mees as well, and running in this pack right now. So as the race goes on, he will log all that in and try to put himself in the best spot on that last lap.
Now it's turning out to be 4 riders here at the front as we've lost Coolbeth. Which means by losing Coolbeth, that means Mees is pretty much all on his own on the Harley-Davidson, surrounded by Kawasaki's, 2 at the front and 1 behind him.
And you look at them down the straight, they look pretty much equal as far as speed goes right now. I think it's just who's been able to put the power to the ground right now. And the Kawasaki's they've been good all night. The Harleys have been good too here all day. So it's far from over at this point.
So much history around this event. It used to be for many years promoted by the Agajanian family. And old Armando Magri used to own the Harley-Davidson dealership literally a half a mile from this racetrack. Legendary Harley racer and dealer in this area. A big supporter of the event. The Sacramento Mile continues and putting on a great show here once again tonight.
Mees trying to get up and run on Johnson right here. Well, you can look right in his eyes right there. This is how close it gets. Woo, that's awesome. They just roll the big twins off and it backs the things into the corner. Using rear brake at the same time. That's why you see the disc so hot, red hot, when you can get a good look at that.
Oh, took his hand off, looked like he was going for a tear off there for a second. You can see that front end getting wobbly, sliding right up onto the outside of him.
You can see the Harley on the number 9 Harley just getting right up on the rear wheel of the 5 of that Kawasaki, but at the end of the straight doesn't quite have enough to make it stick.
Now you got to start thinking about how are you going to set this up for the finish. And every time they go down into 3, Johnson peeks a little bit to the outside.
He's looking everywhere he can. Me's doing the same thing, down on the inside, looking on the outside, doing everything he can on the one more to go now. This is it.
Here we go. Final lap at Sacramento. Down into one. Smith with the lead, and he got through there good. Me's struggling to get some grip. Now he's got it, and he closes up on Johnson.
Well, he got a great run on him.
He did. Cuts it to the inside. Johnson goes a little bit high. Can Mees do anything? Couldn't get there. Can he get the run off of 4? He's going to need it because Smith looks solid. Here they come to the checkered flag, and the win goes to Brian Smith. We'll have a chance to talk to the winner when we come back to Sacramento. Thursday nights, MAVTV is the place to be for the best in American real racing. Speed Sport Magazine presents insightful features to keep you, the fan, in the know.
And I scare the hell out of myself.
Tell me the truth. You're better than Rico? And Speed Sport brings you great racing action. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern and Pacific for Speed Sport and Speed Sport Magazine.